and the starter of it is our dean, Olga Kotenko. Of course, Olga Kotenko, we see you in the screen, but I'd like you to have the special welcome word to us. Just a little later, and now some words to you, our dear participants. Today, as you see, the fifth forum, it is, in fact, a anniversary meeting for us. Before starting the official part, I'd like to tell some very important words because of the safety. And in this part, I will be speaking in two languages, English and Ukrainian. So, you know that if we are having the special air alarm, we have to go to the shelter, of course, because you know that we have the war, the Russian aggression against Ukraine. But I'd like to set that our speakers and the moderators are in safety place. So if we have the special sounds of alarm, we may continue our forum. But the participants who are in places which are not so much safe, of course, you have to go to a special safety place. And in this case, you may see all the reports in our YouTube channel of faculty and the department as well. But I hope that we will be lucky today, and we have very sunny day in Kyiv, Ukraine. You may see it's too sunny in my screen, and we hope that everything will be good. Переходжу зараз на українську мову. Шановні учасники, щодо безпекової ситуації, у разі оголошення сигналу повітряної тривоги, ми просимо потурбуватись вас про безпечне місце. Оскільки спікери та модератори будуть вже перебувати, ми вже потурбувалися і перебуваємо в безпечних місцях, відтак робота форуму не буде зупинятись. Якщо учасники будуть змушені покинути захід з певних безпекових міркувань, ви можете долучитись до нашої сторінки YouTube каналу як кафедри, так і факультету, де всі доповіді будуть викладені. Дякуємо за розуміння. Continue. I'd like to tell some words about our university because most of you are newcomers for our forum as participants. So I'd like to tell you some words about our faculty and university. Our faculty is the faculty who prepares, trains teachers for primary, preschool education, and of course we have specialists in some other approaches for adult education, the specialist in pedagogical, in education in general. And if we are speaking, for example, about our department, of course, we prepare the specialists in different fields, and we work with some faculties as our pedagogical faculty of musical art, psychological faculty, and fine arts. And of course, we cooperate with all the faculties in our university. And some words about university that Boris Grinchenko Kyiv Metropolitan University is a student-centered research intensive and globally involved university with over 120 history. And you see that some of our foreign participants, I mentioned that you found some old information in internet, because now we have one more word added to the title as Boris Grinchenko Kyiv Metropolitan University. And why we are so different from other universities. We use innovative educational methods, long-term teaching traditions, and close links with public institutions and business raise competitiveness of our graduates and help them contribute to the development of our society and state. If we're speaking about pedagogical faculty or the faculty of pedagogical education, I'd like to say that we are very prominent, and we are we are in the first ranks in Ukraine because our specialists very progressive, very professional, and we have strong connections with some other partners. And today we're glad that our students are participants of our event. Uh, mm, some interesting facts of our faculty we may see in our official page in Facebook or in official page of our university and our faculty as well. And some words I'd like to tell about our the work of our forum. We have four approaches or four directions. Of course, we'll be speaking about a general problem of the English language, because you know that the language in the world it is very complicated sphere, and we should combine the psychological and linguistical items together, didactic and socio-cultural trends in the development of foreign language education. And of course, our students who will present their works in this approach, they will discover and will share their private maybe opportunities, their private experience. And some of the students I know who would like to become speakers of our today's event, they will present their own experience in this one. The next uh, oh, I'm sorry. I see that we have one more guest, and now we may continue some words about three others about volunteer and teaching methods. And so now we have to start with official part. Once more, dear guests, dear participants, you are welcome at our the fifth Ukrainian Student Scientific and Practical Online Forum. Before starting our forum, you know all the measures to be safety. And now, before I pass the welcome word to Natalia Vinnikova, the Vice Rector, and Olga Kotenko, the Dean of the Pedagogical Faculty, let us have 1 minute to honor the memory of those who died as a result of Russian aggression against Ukraine. Our soldiers uh, who left their lives and civilians who died. 1 minute, please. Let's honor. Thank you. Our memory about them will be forever. And now, with a great pleasure, I invite to welcoming speech Natalia Vinnikova, Vice Rector for Research and International Affairs, Head of Academic Council, Boris Grinchenko, Kyiv Metropolitan University, Doctor of Science and Philology, Professor. Natalia Mykolenko, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, dear participants, dear students, dear colleagues. It's my pleasure to be with you today. Thank you very much for invitation. Traditionally, in May, we celebrate Science Day in Ukraine, and traditionally at our university, we have a science festival, which combines different events, which deals with scientific process. These events are scientific. One of them is Student Scientific and Practical Forum, foreign language education through the eyes of students. And this year forum is being held for the 5th time. It's already an anniversary, so I congratulate everyone with such anniversary. It's unique and it's a popular forum because it unites not only students, but also the teachers, professors, mentors who teach students. This year, as I know, the total number of participants, more than 250 participants, and thank you very much to all participants of this year forum. I congratulate all of you on behalf of Boris Grinchenko, Kyiv Metropolitan University. And I would like also to thank the organizers of the forum, the Faculty of Pedagogical Education, headed by Dean Olga Kotenko, and Department of Foreign Languages and Methods of Teaching them, headed by Natalia Kosharma, and all professors, teachers of the faculty and department who took part in organizing this year's forum. Thank you very much, my dear colleagues. I'm very grateful to our international partners who not only participate in the forum, but also support us, support Ukraine, support Ukrainians in this difficult time of war. Thank you very much for your support. We are very happy to see and hear you today. Thank you. And of course, I want to wish you meaningful discussions and the pleasure of exchange scientific ideas during this forum. Have a quiet day, and thank you for invitation again. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia Mykolaievna, for kind welcome speech to us, to all the participants. Yes, it's true. Today we are having the registered 2,056 participants from all the regions of Ukraine. So our geography connected all the regions of Ukraine, and we are proud. For example, Kherson University now it is relocated to Frankivsk, or for example, Mariupol is relocated to some other place, but they are together. So we are Ukrainians, we are strong, and we are standing. Thank you, thank all the participants. And now, with great pleasure, I pass the word to our Dean of our pedagogical faculty, Olga Kotenko. You're welcome, Olga Volodymyrivna.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My dearest students, colleagues, and guests, I welcome you to our forum held for the 5th time at Boris Grinchenko Kyiv Metropolitan University on the initiative of the Foreign Language and Methodology Department of the Faculty of Pedagogical Education. I am grateful to my colleagues for organizing the forum and for the topics that will be discussed today. In my opinion, a foreign language is a powerful diplomatic and professional tool in our times. It's the language of opportunities and prospects in the professional world. Therefore, learning and teaching foreign languages is always a career advantage. My congratulations are especially extended to the students participating from various universities of Ukraine and Europe. I also welcome students of Grinchenko University And I'm sure that today's plenary session is going to be interesting and eventful. I wish you inspiration for your discussions, satisfaction with what you are going to hear, and a bright future for yourselves. Thank you again for invitation. Let's get started, and of course, glory to Ukraine.
Thank you, Olga Volodymyrівна. And we have one surprise today. We have our close friend Isaac Papadopoulos, because he was not sure about his presence today, because he is working upon special project. And Isaac, please, you are welcome. We are very glad to see you today.
Yes, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Olga, Natalia, thank you very much for this invitation. I couldn't miss that. It's a tradition that you've had there, so I couldn't miss this very, very nice forum for the students of Ukraine and Europe as well, and around the world as well. Доброго ранку, if I pronounce it well.
Thank you.
And I am really happy that I am here with all your students and the faculty members of your faculty. And I was trying last night to say something in Ukrainian. I have only this phrase, and I will give the floor to the students because this should be the center. Дякую вам за вашу дружбу. Was it okay? Thank you very much for your friendship, and we are here for you. Thank you very much for everything. And good luck with all your attempts there.
Thank you, Isaac, very much. Isaac, who don't know, Isaac is a specialist in foreign language teaching, a specialist in early childhood education and foreign languages. He has a special scientific school with PhD students, and today his students, under his supervision, will be presenting their scientific researches. So thank you, Isaac, very much. And now we start with our first speaker, Alexandra Bosch-Solé. She is a PhD student, Faculty of Education and Psychology, University of Girona, Spain. You know, dear participants, today, as we've said, there are a lot of foreign participants, and some of them wish to present their researches. And Alexandra, should we help you, or you will yourself present, share screen?
Thank you very much, Natalia, and all the rest of participant organizers. I think I will just share my screen if I manage to do it, and I will just share the presentation. Just let me know if accept.
Okay, don't worry, you have some minutes to do it.
Yeah, but
yes, we see.
Yeah, you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Great. So whenever you want, I can start presenting the research.
You may do it just now. Please start.
Okay. So, Dobry ranok. I don't know if I'm pronouncing right. It's an honor. It's an honor to have been invited here to participate in this 5th Ukrainian Student Scientific and Practical Forum. Today I will be speaking about a recent research. We are concluding this research together with Dr. Julie Waddington here at University of Girona. And I'm presenting some insights from the Catalan context. It's entitled Introducing English as a Foreign Language in Multilingual Pre-Primary Classrooms. And we're going to delve in the Catalan context. So first, some key concepts. I know that I should be speaking for 10 to 15 minutes, so I hope it's not going to be too long. some key concepts, and then we will move to the study itself with its context and research question. And we will delve in the method, showing some data on participants, data sources, and analysis to end up with some preliminary findings and some conclusions. So, going now to this background information, we know that multilingualism in education and in our classrooms, they are a reality. We also bear in mind that the Sustainable Development Goals by the United Nations aims to foster in all learners an appreciation for cultural diversity and of culture contribution to sustainable development. Our reality also in Catalonia is that we have these multilingual classrooms. We have children from different identities, diverse literacy skills, diverse language, family languages other than the national or, in our case, minority languages. And also we bear in mind this notion expressed by Thenoth and Gorter that multilingualism in education is the consequence of combining teaching and learning, the main national language, of course, with other languages. Now, let's see if I can... can I move my presentation? Yes, yes. We
Yes,
also know
please.
that teacher beliefs are important about any implementation in the educational sphere. Actually, as pointed out by Jim Cummins, the transition from of teaching practice from monolingual or the dominant language to multilingual approaches has been attributed to teachers. So actually teachers can be the primary facilitators of students' multilingualism in the classroom and of change of any sort. Therefore, attitudes, knowledge, values brought by teachers can influence pedagogical practices and therefore affect these learning processes. Now, moving to our study that we have been working on lately, our main objectives have to do with expanding knowledge on the existing research on pre-primary EFL introduction in multilingual settings, also provide deeper understanding of teacher responses regarding the introduction of English as a foreign language in contextualized multilingual settings, and finally contribute to uncovering gaps in current education policies. We have used a qualitative method based on preliminary questionnaires, gathering socio-demographic data by our participants, and some semi-structured interviews. Now, looking a little bit or zooming in our particular context in Catalonia for those who are maybe not that familiar. Of course, you know that Catalonia is part of Spain, northeastern region of Spain, where compulsory education spans from 6 to 16 years. Therefore, primary education is not compulsory in Catalonia, though the reality is that more than 90% of children are following a SEC education. In Catalonia, with Catalan as the main, as the co-official language of Catalonia, together with Spanish, which is the national language of Spain, of course, and also co-official language in Catalonia. However, Catalan is the vehicular, what we call vehicular language of the school. So it's a schooling language with Spanish also present. And also with these multilingual children that we have a diverse children home languages, therefore diverse linguistic composition in the classrooms. As you know, Catalan is a minority language, and Most importantly, it must be said that in Catalonia, the introduction of English as a foreign language is not compulsory either in early settings. However, our curriculum decree for early childhood education mentions plurilingualism, and it refers to the plurilingual competence as the stage in which contact with languages and cultures other than the family language starts, fosters children's attitudes of respect for linguistic and cultural diversity, as well as interest in enriching the linguistic repertoire. Therefore, there's a special mention to the plurilingual competence as something to bear in mind when introducing languages and in the early childhood education curriculum in Catalonia. So this is something which should be bear in mind. Sorry. Now, our research question of this study has to do with how do in-service teachers respond to this challenge of introducing EFL in early childhood multilingual contexts, such as our Catalan context. Now, as I mentioned before, this is a qualitative study based on preliminary questionnaires, semi-structured interviews, and field notes complementing our semi-structured interviews. We gathered 19 qualified teachers of 6 state schools. 8 were EFL specialist teachers and 11 generalist teachers. As you can see here, the age range was between 27 and 57 years, and the teaching experience varied from 1 to 30 years. The procedure that we actually followed was that we conducted the research we gathered data over the course of 10 months and analyzed the data through the thematic analysis approach by Brown and Clark. Now, let me present you the preliminary findings that we gathered. We are still writing the final paper with the final findings, but after conducting this thematic analysis, we gathered 3 different themes, which were the most relevant ones, which have to do with prioritizing L1 instruction, therefore Catalan. Then EFL specialist teacher, having the EFL specialist teacher as the lead professional, so therefore one teacher, one language sort of scheme. And finally, generating a multilingual climate. We will see now that these 2 final themes, EFL specialist teacher as the lead professional and generating a multilingual climate, can be sort of like having hard versus soft boundaries between languages. We will explain that. Now, as for prioritizing L1 instruction, as I say here, we have a lesser used language, Catalan, which is experiencing a retrocession. It's going down in terms of oral speakers. It's not that people and students don't learn Catalan language, but it's not widely spoken. It's experiencing a decrease. This decrease explains how some participants actually point out to the need of prioritizing Catalan instruction. Here we have an excerpt. Children need to consolidate first the vehicular language of the school, Catalan, and then we can offer other languages. We have an increasing number of children who speak poor Catalan. We see speech problems. We see that children are not ready. They need further language development. And at preschool, I am in favor of developing the school vehicular language first. Pronunciation and vocabulary. Therefore, if we have to choose between offering English as a foreign language in pre-primary settings or delving into deepening into Catalan instruction, some of these participants aimed for this prioritizing L1 instruction. Here we have another instance in which, well, these participants says, we don't offer English at preschool, firstly, because we consider that children have to master the first language, Catalan. We saw that it's more interesting to invest more exposure time and make more efforts in promoting Catalan language, no matter if children come from elsewhere. If parents are bilingual in Catalan or Spanish, or if the children were born in Catalonia, we see that language skills in Catalan are getting poorer. So again, you see the same kind of argument here exposed. So we opted to enhance these skills because they constitute the foundations of all learning outcomes. So as you remember, you might remember that we said that it's optional. So introducing EFL in pre-primary context in Catalonia is optional. It's not compulsory. So these participants, some of them were in favor of actually prioritizing Catalan and not really offering English at this pre-primary stage. Now, we have here a sort of dichotomy between the EFL specialist teacher, the lead teacher, this was another result, and generating a multilingual climate. Some teachers, when asked about how do they respond to the introduction of English as a foreign language in their multilingual context, they said, well, we just want to have a specialist teacher, the EFL specialist teacher, speaking only in English, like this reference person. And this is like explained with one language, one teacher, one language, right? And we here have these sort of different approaches between hard and soft boundaries. So language is understood as a fluid concept in which we have translanguaging, in which we can have different languages operating in the English classroom, in the Catalan classroom, in the language classroom, and some other teachers who've said, no, we are introducing English as a foreign language in pre-primary stage, and we have this reference person. As we see here at the right part of this presentation, the way, so one excerpt says the way we have here at this school to do children's English is that they see me, this was said by a foreign language specialist, they see me as the lead English teacher. I go out to the playground to do the yard surveillance and I speak to them in English. We go on a trip and I speak to them in English. When I'm in the library with them, sometimes I also introduce a story in English. So therefore, children identified this specialist teacher as the English person, right? Without even knowing sometimes that this person can actually speak Spanish, can speak Catalan, and may speak other languages. So this notion of...
Dear Alexandra, you have so interesting presentation, but we have some more participants.
Okay, I'm just finishing.
But I hope it will be our further discussion with you.
I think we can have, if people have some questions, we can just have some time later on. Just let me know. Do I have 1 minute to just present the conclusions?
Yeah, conclusions.
So actually, we can see different approaches here operating, and what we see that some teachers take the stand of this monolingual approach, whereas others take a plurilingual approach. This study wanted to contribute to expand knowledge on teacher responses, and highlight the need to see that different contexts need different solutions. It's not one reality for everyone. And we want to, through this study, prompt reflection in relation to innovative teaching practices in multilingual settings and sustainable educational language policies. And this was it. Sorry, because it took me too long. Dziękuję, and thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Dear Alexandra, thank you very much. Really, it's very interesting presentation, very interesting research. And dear participants, you may ask the question or you may write in the chat. And I hope, Alexandra, it is the start of our further communication and cooperation. And please pass my kind words to your supervisor, Julia Waddington, professor from Girona University. And she is a kind friend of Isaac as well. Thank you. And now our participants write in the chat and thank you. Well, the next participant is Maria Polimero, a PhD student, Department of Early Childhood Education and Care, International Hellenic University, Greece. Well, dear Maria, you are welcome.
Доброго ранку, Miss Kosarna. Thank you for your invitation. We are really happy and really honored to participate in your conference. Let me introduce myself. My name is Maria Polimeru. I come from Greece. I currently teach in the International Hellenic University. I teach English terminology and I conduct my PhD study. I'm in my first year of study. And I will follow Alexandra's boss concept. I investigate the area of early EFL instruction in Greece. Let me share my presentation.
Dear Maria, and please follow 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
I'll do my best.
Yes. Thank you very much. While you are preparing, thank you that you are with us with our forum, and it will be a continuing of our cooperation. Thank you for supporting us in so difficult time, not even difficult, but the war time for Ukraine. And you see, in spite of bombing and some other bad things, we are working. Our students are here. We are energetic, and we are doing everything to have the victory.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
To full screen.
Yes, it's so kind to see in your screen in Ukrainian факультету педагогічної освіти столичного університету, кафедри іноземних мов. Thank you very much.
Maria, you need to share the entire screen in order to see your slides moving because it is the problem of Zoom.
Full screen. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Don't worry, that's okay.
Και προβολή παρουσίασης.
Προβολή παρουσίασης.
Of course, if we are having some topics of our participants are close to each other, because it proves the idea that we are together in some problematic, and they are close for Spain, for Greece.
Πήγαινε στο PowerPoint, είναι κάτω. Καλά το έχεις κάνει.
PowerPoint.
Απλά έχεις κάνει stop το sharing. You need to share the entire screen. Okay.
Τώρα.
Okay, and now you need to go προβολή παρουσίασης. Είναι δίπλα στο μενού που λέει προβολή μεταβάσεις. Πάνω, εκεί, προβολή παρουσίασης. Μπράβο, πάτα εκεί. Και προβολή από την αρχή.
Είμαστε εντάξει.
Δεν το βλέπουμε σε full screen.
Πώς θα το κάνω full screen?
Έκανες full screen. Πρέπει να κάνεις, you need to share the entire screen firstly. Not the PowerPoint, the entire screen.
Share.
Entire screen.
Εδώ τώρα που είναι το entire screen, screens.
Isaac, I'm sorry. If you need, we may help you. Our colleague Yulia Rudnik can share the screen.
Okay.
Let us try. Yulia.
Perfect. Okay, Maria, we are ready.
Oh, okay, that will do.
Is that okay now?
¿Ya tienes tiene
Yes.
pomenodumy? Okay, okay, perfect.
Είμαστε εντάξει?
No.
Super. Okay, sorry. The title of my study is Exploring the Needs, Challenges, and Employment Experiences of EFL Teachers in Greek Public Preschools. Some key concepts concerning EFL instruction. When we refer to EFL instruction, we mean teaching English as a second language, while when we refer to early EFL instruction, we refer to teaching English as a second language in early years, that is to students aged 4 to 6, that is to kindergarten students. Early EFL instruction globally is a widespread practice internationally. Research overwhelmingly favors early exposure to a foreign language for the great benefits associated not only with the acquisition of linguistic skills, but also for the profound impact on children's cognitive development, social skills, and cultural understanding, laying a strong foundation for future academic success, personal growth, and effective engagement in a globalized society. Of course, there are certain apprehensions concerning an early EFL exposure, namely the cross-linguistic errors in terms of language transfer or temporary confusion in terms of sound or structure. However, they are significantly overweighted by the numerous advantages. So most challenges can be minimized or avoided with a well-designed curriculum, certain methodological guidelines, and teacher training programs. Now, concerning the Greek context, English language instruction was introduced in Greek preschools 5 years ago. So unlike Alexandra's in Catalonian context, English early EFL instruction is mandatory in preschools in Greece. It is delivered by a qualified English teacher with the presence of the preschool teachers in class. There's a collaborative teaching situation here. We try to smoothly follow the Greek syllabus, and the methodology employed is there are indicative activities and scenarios based on the CLE approach. Of course, all these things is a new reality for parents, children, and educators, and there are certain issues of communication, time constraints, and adjustments. Concerning the collaborative teaching model, the Greek ESL teaching model hinges on the effective collaboration between the EFL teachers, the specialists who bring the specialized language teaching methodologies, and the preschool educators who are required to contribute with their deep understanding of early childhood development and education. They know the developmental stages of the children, how actually preschoolers learn, so they help us do our work better. Now, our study purpose is to explore the professional needs, the challenges, and the employment experiences of EFL teachers in Greek preschool context. The key areas of our focus are to investigate teaching practices and curriculum, to explore the methodologies are employed, the availability of resources, if there's sufficient teacher training or support, and explore teachers' perceptions and insights, and we want their feedback. Our research design, there is a mixed methods needs analysis approach that was employed to get preliminary insights concerning the early childhood English language education context. So it involved 2 stages, qualitative and quantitative methods. We conducted certain interviews with EFL teachers in order to gain in-depth insights into their experiences and their perceptions, and we encourage them to articulate their problems, and then we ask them to fill in a questionnaire concerning in order to assess their school connectedness and their teaching efficacy. The key findings: children seem to develop a natural understanding of the language, reinforcing vocabulary, and EFL teachers feel quite useful and are quite connected to preschool settings. However, there are certain challenges that need to be addressed. For example, there are curriculum issues, integration issues, difficulty aligning English activities with existing preschool themes, communication barriers between teachers, and time constraints, because there are limited resources and there's limited time for us as English teachers to plan and implement our activities. And of course, there are professional development needs, there is lack of training, and there's great need for reference material at schools. So, our findings are the following. The existing Greek teaching model for early English instruction, based on indicative CLIL scenarios, has demonstrated significant potential benefits as well as notable challenges. What we should do? We think that indicative tasks don't seem enough. There's need for a clear methodological framework for EFL teachers to follow and build upon. Ongoing teaching training courses will help English teachers optimize teaching in early years and language retention. And so there is necessity of systematic policy development. What's next? Upon EFL teachers' great demands, according to our research and various surveys over the 5 past years conducted by dearest colleagues and even the official material designers, there remains a critical need to investigate the effectiveness of other approaches apart from CLIL in Greek preschool settings. What we suggest? We suggest the task-based language teaching approach, because this approach promotes learning using authentic material through well-nested procedures and a clear methodological framework. And TBLT, task-based language teaching and learning, is an approach that mirrors how children actually learn their first language. Therefore, considering all the needs analysis data, we aspire to proceed our study with the following. We are going to design, to implement, and evaluate an intervention program concerning the introduction of early EFL in preschool education in Greece based on the TBLT approach. The main aim is to explore the efficacy and the effectiveness of this intervention concerning children's vocabulary development, both in first language and in English, the social and strategic competence, and relationships between the students and their teachers. So we're going to have in our research design 3 stages. Actually, we conducted the first one, the needs analysis, and then we are going to train the English teachers appropriately, and then we are going to apply the intervention program. If I'm supposed to give you an indicative timeline, we are in the first part of our study, and we are going to submit our study by the end of June 2026. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Maria. Дякую. It's so pleasant to hear our Ukrainian language from our foreign guests. Thank you very much, dear Maria. Thank you, your supervisor, Isaac Papadopoulos. Really, the presented topic is very interesting and useful in the context of early childhood education, especially the foreign language, and taking into account the multilingual environment. And of course, I hope that you can follow your research and to finish it, to have special conclusion. And I think we'll meet not only one, but some more times in our special common events, and you may present some other results of your research. Thank you very much. And our participants, please, you may write some words in the chat, and we follow. The next, our foreign guest is Maria Eleni Bourgiani. She is also a PhD student, and Isaac Papadopoulos is her supervisor. Maria Eleni, are you here with us?
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello. We are glad to see you. And dear participants, as you see, we are having some foreign participants in the beginning of our forum because we have the difference of time. And of course, our colleagues are too much busy as we are. And that's why, as we are masters of this event, of course, we should be very polite to our guests, and they are the first in any case. Well, Maria Eleni, you are welcome. Glad to see you, and we hear you. And please time 10 minutes. Yeah? Thank you.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Доброго ранку. My name is Maria Elena Bourgiani. It is truly an honor to be part of this special event. Please know that you have my heartfelt wishes for safety, strength, and peace for all of you, your families, your country. My thoughts are with you. So I'm also a PhD student. My supervisor is Dr. Isaac Papadopoulos. I'm just finishing my first year, and I will be presenting my research. One moment to share my screen. Share screen. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, well, dear Maria Elena, thank you very much. It's so kind to see in our special university background presentation. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I will be presenting some of my research, which titled is Enhancing Literacy and Social-Emotional Development in Greek Preschools, Challenges, Strategies, and Policy Implications. This study explores an alternative approach to support literacy and social-emotional development in early childhood education by using archetype pedagogy. This framework promotes a dialogical space, values each child's inner beauty, and centers playful activities in learning. It also sees children as active, autonomous individuals with positive emotions and virtues. Emergent literacy is foundational for academic and lifelong learning, but most pedagogical strategies focus only on skills, neglecting social, emotional, and moral development. There is also very limited research on integrating virtue-based education into literacy teaching. My study addresses this gap by testing on archetype pedagogy-based intervention that combines dialogue, play, and reflection to support both literacy and social and emotional growth. In Greece, preschool educators face several challenges, for example, large class sizes, limited staff support, linguistic and cultural diversity in classrooms, insufficient professional development in inclusive literacy and social-emotional learning, and scarcity of digital and multilingual resources. Also, many educators lack of systematic training on integrating these areas effectively. The purpose of the study is to examine whether an intervention based on archetype pedagogy can enhance both literacy skills and social-emotional skills in preschool children by using activities that foster dialogue, empathy, and playful learning. I explored two main questions. First, what is the impact of archetype pedagogy activities on children's literacy skills after 6 months? And secondly, what is the impact of virtue-based activities on children's social-emotional engagement and playfulness? I hypothesize that children exposed to the intervention will show higher literacy, greater engagement, and increased playfulness compared, of course, to the control group. My study is grounded in archetype pedagogy, which connects literacy development with virtue ethics, emotional growth, and moral education. It draws from research on dialogic teaching, empathy building, and learning through play. Sorry for my voice, it's a bit hoarse. This research also contributes to international efforts to integrate emergent literacy and social emotional learning in early childhood education. It also adds empirical evidence to the limited global research on virtue-based pedagogy like archetype pedagogy. In this research, I use quasi-experimental design to evaluate the intervention. And the intervention will be two groups: the treatment group that will receive the archetype pedagogy-based intervention, and the control group that will follow the standard preschool curriculum as every preschooler in Greece. The study also follows 5 phases: the needs analysis, the intervention development, the pre-test assessment, the intervention implementation, and the post-test evaluation. Phases 1 to 3 include a needs analysis using surveys and interviews with educators, the development of intervention materials and education training, and pre-test to assess the baseline literacy and social emotional skills of children in both groups. Phases 4 and 5 involve implementing the intervention over 8 to 10 weeks with trained educators, leading sessions in treatment group, while the control group will continue with regular activities. And finally, post-test and retention assessment will measure the outcomes in literacy and social emotional outcomes. So the intervention will last 8 to 10 weeks and will include dialogical discussions, play-based literacy games, and emotional development exercises like collaborative storytelling with empathy themes. Educators will also document the process by using observation journals. The intervention is built on 3 pillars. First of all, dialogical space using shared book reading and discussions. Cultivating inner beauty through activities focused on kindness and empathy. And of course, a play-based environment using games and storytelling that combines both literacy and emotional expression. The proposed sample is mostly of course, preschool educators and 100 preschool children in Greece, divided into 2 groups, a control group and a treatment group, both divided by 50 children. The treatment group will receive the archetype pedagogy intervention, while the control group will follow the standard curriculum. In this research, I will be using multiple tools for data collection. For example, for educators, there will be already completed questionnaires, and also the educators will participate in semi-structured interviews. Children's literacy will be assessed with tools like Logometro. Social emotional skills will be evaluated through behavioral observations and tools as action picture test. And of course, I will be keeping a reflective journal throughout all the intervention. The study aims to provide practical strategies for educators to enhance literacy, while also fostering social-emotional development through archetype pedagogy. It also aspires to offer evidence-based recommendations for integrating virtue-based learning into early childhood education. Of course, there will be some expected implications. For example, it's highlighted through findings the need for professional development, for better teacher-student ratios, for access to digital and multilingual resources, and of course, the broaden recognition of archetype pedagogy as an effective approach to support both literacy and social-emotional learning in early childhood education. That would be it. I hope I had in the time limits, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maria-Eleni. Your work is very interesting. Especially, we can see and make a conclusion that the structure of your research is close to our Ukrainian structure about the research, the outcomes, the instruments, well, methods, and so on. And of course, the topic is rather interesting, and I hope some of our participants, especially the participants within preschool education, should be interested in this research. Thank you very much. And
Thank
we
you as well.
continue. Next, we have the next participant. It's our student of Boris Grinченко Kyiv University, Boychenko Sofia. And she will present us the importance of English language within the private, within within special experience she has, and in general she tells us about summer camps and their roles in language acquisition, because the practical part of how to learn English and its importance it will be very interesting for us. So Sofia, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. A few seconds to share my presentation.
Not yet, we are waiting. If you need, you may help you.
Yeah, Sophia, do you need my provide with the presentation? It is in progress.
It will be...
And dear Sophia, 5 minutes.
Do you see my presentation?
Not yet. We are waiting. Yes, we see. But you need to have a full screen, if you can, of course.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to greet the participants of the 5th Ukrainian Student Scientific and Practical Online Forum. Today, I'd like to share my personal journey with English summer camps and how they have shaped my language learning experience. When I first started learning English at school, it felt like just another subject, grammar rules to memorize and vocabulary lists to study. But everything changed during the summer after my 9th grade, when I attended my English immersion camp. That experience transformed my relationship with English and set me on the path to where I am today. I still remember the nervous feeling in my stomach as my parents dropped me off at an English summer camp. I was 15 and worried about spending 2 weeks with strangers, speaking a language I wasn't confident in. The camp has had a simple but effective philosophy: English everywhere, all the time. From morning announcements to evening activities, everything happened in English. At first, it was intimidating. I remember sitting at breakfast on the first day, struggling to ask someone to pass the salt. But by the end of the first week, something incredibly happened. I stopped translating in my head and started thinking in English. English summer camps represent a powerful educational model that combines structured learning with authentic language immersion. Research shows these programs can significantly enhance language acquisition in ways that traditional classrooms settings often cannot match. The growing phenomenon of language immersion camps. Language immersion camps have seen remarkable growth globally over the past 2 decades. According to the International Association of Language Camps, enrollment in English immersion programs increased by 45% between 2010 and 2020. This trend reflects growing recognition of their effectiveness among educators and parents alike. And these specialized camps exist in various formats. It's domestic immersion camps, international exchange camps, specialized focus camps, and academic preparation camps. Key factors that make English camps effective. First one is immersive language environment. Research by Dr. Maria Johnson and Cambridge University demonstrate that students in immersive environments acquire language up to 30% faster than those in traditional classroom settings. This acceleration occurs because the brain receives a constant language input across different contexts. Learners must use English for all daily communications and needs. The absence of native language reduces translation habits. Multiple language skills are activated simultaneously. The second one is reduced affective filter. Educational psychologist Stefan Krashen's affective filter hypothesis has been consistently validated in summer camp settings. A 2021 study by Seoul National University found that after 2 weeks in English camps, students' self-reported anxiety about speaking English decreased by 40%. Willingness to initiate conversation increased by 65%. Fear of making mistakes dropped significantly. The camp environment promotes the psychological benefits through non-judgmental communication settings, emphasis on communication over perfection, peer support networks, and incremental confidence-building activities. The third one is authentic communication contexts. Research published in the Journal of Language Acquisition demonstrates that authentic communication contexts are crucial for developing functional language skills. English camps provide real-life problem-solving situations requiring English, natural conversation opportunities with diverse speakers, social interactions that demand language negotiation, and immediate and meaningful feedback on communication effects. Multiple studies have documented the specific language improvements resulting from English camp participation, such as pronunciation and speaking fluency, vocabulary acquisition. Dr. James Wilson's research at Stanford documented that students in summer immersion programs acquired 30 to 45% more new vocabulary than control groups, showed better understanding of colloquial expressions and idioms, developed stronger contextual guessing skills for unknown words. Beyond language mechanics, research shows that camps participants develop enhanced cross-cultural understanding, greater awareness of cultural nuances in communication, improved ability to recognize and use culturally appropriate expressions, better understanding of non-verbal communication across cultures, increased cultural sensitivity, and reduced stereotyping. The benefits of English immersion camps extend beyond language skills. These cognitive advantages appear to result from the brain's adaptation to navigating different language contexts and the mental effort required to communicate in a non-native language continuously. The most successful English camps incorporate specific pedagogical approaches. It's like first-based learning, content and language integrated learning, project-based collaboration, and structured reflection. The International Summer Language Institute program, which operates in 15 countries, provide compelling evidence of camp effectiveness. Students average a 1.5 level jump. 85% of participants show significant improvement in communicative confidence. Pre and post testing reveals improvement in listening comprehension. Follow-up testing shows retention of gains 8 to 12 months after the program. My personal experience participating in this program aligned with these findings. Within 2 weeks, my ability to communicate spontaneously improved dramatically, and test scores reflected this program improvement in speaking assessments. The research evidence clearly demonstrates that English summer camps provide unique and powerful environments for language acquisition. Their effectiveness stems from the combination of immersion, reduced anxiety, authentic communication needs, and integrated learning approaches. By understanding the science behind successful language camps, we can work to create more effective learning environments for all students, whether within traditional classroom or specialized immersive programs. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Sophia, very much for so interesting information from the theoretical point of view and practical, and sharing your own opinion and experience about language camping. Dear participants, do you have any questions to Sophia? Sophia, I think you may recommend our students, participants, some summer camps, and you may write in chat, or maybe you may write then after forum in our Facebook page. You may leave some recommendations about this. Because as for me, it's very interesting. If I were a student, where would I go as for summer camp? Well, thank you. We have the thanks words in the chat, and we continue. So, language plays a crucial role in shaping how we perceive and interpret the world around us. And now, next speaker, Kamila Belousova, will tell us how learning new languages opens the door to different cultures, values, and ways of thinking. So, Kamila, you are welcome, but please remember 5 or 6 minutes, but no more, because we have a lot of participants who would like to present their works. Thank you, and start.
Hello everyone, I'm Kamila Belousova, a first-year student of special education at Boris Grynchenko University. I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak today on a topic that I believe touches every one of us, the power of language in shaping worldviews, a student perspective. As students, we often think of language simply as a tool for communication, but in reality, it is much more than that. Language shapes how we think, how we see the world, and how we understand people from different cultures. Every language carries its own logic, values, and ways of expressing ideas. When we learn a foreign language, we don't just memorize grammar rules or vocabulary. We begin to see the world through a different lens. Let's begin with how language shapes the way we think. Language is not just a tool for communication. It directly influences our thoughts. Different languages focus on different aspects. Some emphasize the person while others focus on the action. For instance, in English we say, I broke the vase, making the person responsible clear. But in some languages, it's expressed as the vase broke, removing the direct focus on the person. Such differences shape how we understand responsibility or case. Moving on, language also reflects culture. It shows what is valued most in each society. For example, the many words for camels in Arabic demonstrate their importance in desert life. In Japanese, countless expressions for politeness show how much respect matters. And Spanish offers numerous terms for family relationships, underlying the central role of family. But language is not just a mirror of culture. It is a part of our identity. It shows where we came from and which culture we belong to. For bilingual students, this is especially true. They often feel connected to two places, their home country and the country they live in. Now, speaking two languages means carrying two culture perspectives and building a unique identity. Let's talk about some linguistic statistic. Over 7,000 languages are spoken in the world, yet nearly 30% are endangered. English is spoken as a second language by over 1 billion people. More than half of the world population speaks two or more languages. These numbers highlight the diversity and the need to protect linguistic heritage. When I started learning English more deeply, I noticed how it encouraged me to express opinions more openly and how to think more globally. Through English, I have to access books, films, news, and conversation that broaden my understanding of international issues, history, and diverse perspectives. It makes me feel connected to the world beyond my hometown and even beyond the Ukraine. Moreover, learning a foreign language teaches us tolerance and empathy. It helps us appreciate differences instead of fearing them. As future professionals and global citizens, we must be ready to understand not only what people say, but why they say it. And understanding begins with language. Despite it, linguistic diversity is under threat from globalization, urbanization, and dominant language ideologies. Many minority languages are endangered as younger generations shift to more widely spoken languages for economic and social reasons. This shift often leads to language attrition. However, there are also opportunities for language preservation and revitalization. However, technological advancement such as digital archiving and online language learning platforms provide new avenues for documenting and teaching endangered languages. Community-led initiatives and policy support for multilingual education can also foster linguistic diversity and culture resilience. When exploring the role of language in shaping cultural identity, it is important to consider the concept of linguistic relativity, also known as the peer-worth hypothesis. This theory suggests that the language we speak can influence how they perceive the world around us. For example, languages that have specific words for certain concepts may lead speakers to think about those concepts more frequently or in more detail than speakers of language without those words. And furthermore, the relationship between language and culture is dynamic. While language reflects cultural values and beliefs, it also has the power to shape and reinforce them. For example, the use of certain terms of expressions may reinforce social hierarchies or gender roles within a culture. Additionally, a process of globalization has led to increased interaction between different cultures, resulting in language borrowing and the creation of hybrid languages. These new languages reflect the blending of cultures and highlight the evolving nature of cultural identity in an interconnected world. As students, we don't just study languages, we experience how they change us. We become more aware of cultural differences, more curious, and more connected to the world. Language learning is not just education, it's personal growth. In conclusion, language is far more than a tool. It shapes how we think, reveals cultural values, builds our identity, and connects us to the world. I hope this presentation helps you see language in a new light. Language is not just something we learn in a class. It is a powerful force that shapes our identity, our thinking, and our worldview. I'm proud to be a part of a generation that sees foreign language education not as a requirement, but as an opportunity to grow, connect, and change the world for the better. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Camila. It was very interesting to listen your ideas, your opinions about such theme. Do you have, we have thanks words in the chat, and now we continue. So the next is Laudina Yelizaveta, yes?
Yes, 1 second, I just share my screen. Do you see?
And yes, and Laudina Yelizaveta will tell us about effective strategies for mastering a foreign language, not only learning, but mastering. It's a stress upon this word. Well, you are welcome.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to be part of these events, and I think it's a very interesting experience for me. So my topic is the effective strategies for mastering a foreign language. Let's start. Relevance of the research. It is about the need to improve the quality of language training in the context of globalization, intercultural communication, and growing competition in the international labor market. In the modern world, a knowledge of a foreign language, in particular English, is not only an advantage, but also a requirement for professional and academic development. However, statistics show that most people face difficulties in mastering language skills due to insufficient motivation, ineffective teaching methods, or limited practice. Therefore, research into effective strategies such as the use of authentic resources, technologies, and interactive methods allows you to make the learning process more flexible, personalized, and effective. What is the language learning strategy? Language learning strategy is the art of managing the process of mastering a foreign language, planning a course, and applying modern methods and techniques aimed at helping students achieve skills and abilities in using a foreign language. Let's watch the learning strategies. The first, it's a goal plus motivation, creating a language environment, regular practice for skills, modern technologies and applications, individual learning strategies, accepting mistakes as part of the journey, and finally, you achieving results. Set clear goals. The first step is a clear understanding of why you should learn a language. So ask yourself, what will the new language give you? How will it improve your life, and what will it bring to it? The goal motivates and determines the focus of learning. The most effective way to set a goal is deservedly considered to be smart technology. Make a study plan. The plan can be quite flexible, but it should contain clear stages that allow you to see your progress. To do this, divide your learning into several parts. First, learning the basic. It includes grammar, basic vocabulary, regular practice, speaking, listening, reading, in-depth mastery, extended vocabulary, complex constructions. Creating a language environment. Surround yourself with the language. This could mean listening to music, watching films, or reading books in the target language. Immersion is a key to mastering a new language, as it helps you understand contextual and cultural nuances. When learning a language, it is very important to practice in real-life situations. If possible, talk to native speakers or attend language clubs. Online communications groups on social platforms such as Facebook or Discord are always great places to practice. Always try to speak, even if you don't feel ready yet. Repetitions. Studying and repeating at certain intervals of time is more effective than memorizing all the material at once. If you don't repeat the study material, this material greatly disappears from memory. So how to repeat effectively? Repeat at least once, repeat at certain time intervals, repeat before going to bed. This is effective for memorizing a large number of lexical units. But you should not get hung up on repetitions. This can have the opposite effect. Use flashcards to memorize new words. Interactive flashcards on platforms like Anki or Quizlet not only help you revise words, but also greatly increase your vocabulary. Use language resources. Mobile apps such as Duolingo, Memorize, they offer easy interactive exercise for memorizing words, simple grammar exercise, and listening. Online courses, platforms such as Coursera or Udemy have many courses for beginners that covers the basic of English, including vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Video lessons on YouTube. Channels aimed at beginners are great for visualization the material. For example, Learn English with English Class 101 or BBC Learning English. Learn a language through culture. A foreign language is not just a set of symbols for transmitting information. It's also a part of the cultural heritage that allows you to understand the traditions, customs, and values of another people better. Therefore, don't limit yourself to just grammar and vocabulary. Study songs, music, literature, cooking, and everything that can bring you closer to this culture. I want to share some important tips for learning a foreign language. Start a diary in English. Write down your thoughts or impressions of the day. This will give you practice in sentence formation and help you consolidate new vocabulary. You can also write short essay on simple topics such as your favorite movie or a place you travel to. Keep learning even you feel like you are mastered everything. A language is not just a set of rules and words, but a continuous process. Even when you reach a certain level, it's important to keep practicing so you don't forget what you have learned and lose motivation. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Mistakes are part of the process. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. We learn from mistakes. Don't be shy about speaking with an accent. Analyze your mistakes. Stay confident. It is better to speak with a mistake than to remain silent. And conclusion. Mastering a foreign language is not only about memorizing words and rules, but also about the ability to learn effectively. A properly chosen strategy allows you to make this path not only productive, but also interesting. Each person has their own learning style, goals, and resources. So it is important to experiment, adapt methods, to suit yourself and not be afraid of mistakes. English is the key to new opportunities in education, work, and personal development. If you make the language a part of everyday life, don't stop in the face of difficulties and use modern tools. Success will be only a matter of time. And thank you for your attention.
Елизавета, thank you very much. I know that you are the first year student and you are having the first time of such English language experience to present it in front of the great auditory. Thank you very much. Dear participants, dear colleagues, do you have any questions to Lisa? Елизавета, do you have any questions? May I ask you? Can you share your top 3 effective strategies in foreign language? I know that your specialty is choreography and you are having so hard timetable every day. So how could you follow your strategies?
Yeah, I think the first it's you can listen the music in English, read the translate, learn new words. I use Quizlet. I think it's a very good
useful thing.
Yeah. The second, I watch serials and films on English. And I think I speak with foreign students. I have friends who lives in
abroad.
Yeah.
Thank you, Елизавета, for sharing your experience. Thank you very much. And we continue. The next participant is Bahmet Maria, and she will present interesting topic about abbreviations as a type of shortening words while texting in English. Maria, are you here with us?
Yes, hello. Thank you for having me. Let me show my presentation. Okay.
And Maria, please follow 5 minutes.
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, can you see? Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So my name is Maria, and today I would like to talk about the presentation that I made on the theme abbreviations as a type of shortening words while texting in English. Let's begin. Texting language is a new variety of language that has emerged with the rise of the internet and digital media. It has developed a unique style and set of features that distinguish it from standard spoken and written language. This form of communication is especially common among internet users, bloggers, online chatters, gamers, and teenagers. One of its key characteristics is the use of abbreviations and shorter forms, which contribute to its informal and fast-paced nature. While some consider texting language to be informal or even non-standard, its widespread use highlights the need to study it as a distinct and evolving linguistic phenomenon. Therefore, this study seeks to explore these abbreviations more closely in order to better understand their function, patterns of usage, and linguistic significance. And now let's talk about the background of them. Abbreviations have been part of English language for centuries. Their dates back to the Middle Ages, where scripts shortened Latin phrases like etc. and ie, eat, east. During the Renaissance, the rise of printing and literacy led to more common use of abbreviations, especially in titles like Mr. and Doctor. By the 18th century, abbreviations for months, in example, January was shortened to Jan, and other everyday terms became more widespread. In Industrial Revolution and legal fields, saw an increase in abbreviations for efficiency. By the 20th century, technological advancements like the telegraph and the telephone further popularized shorthand forms like MCG, message, and PLC, please. In a digital age, abbreviations exploded, especially with the texting and online communication. Terms like LOL, laugh out loud, and BRB, be right back, became common. Acronyms and initialisms, e.g. NASA and FBI, grew in popularity, especially in business, science, and technology. Today, abbreviations are essential in daily communication, especially in fast-paced digital environments. They continue to evolve and are now widely used in both formal and informal context. And here's some examples. Formal abbreviations is CAO, PhD, MRI, UN, FUI, ASAP, GPA, FBI, or CAR. Informal or slang, it's LOL, BRB, IDK, YOLO, GOAT, DM, FOMO, TMI, where we can hear them in business, politics, technology, just in everything. So I made a list of most used ones. So we have here CEO is a Chief Executive Officer. We can hear it in work or business. DM, direct message, social media. MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. Healthcare, IDK, I don't know, in everyday life. GOAT, greatest of all time, it's in pop culture. FUI, for your information, email or office. CAI, Central Intelligence Agency, government and law. ASAP, as soon as possible, general urgency. And after all that, we can say this: abbreviations are a vital part of the modern communication, especially in texting, social media, and digital context. They save time and effort, making language more efficient in fast-paced environments. Though sometimes seen as informal, their widespread use across all fields and age groups. They show they are a lasting and evolving features of language today. That's all.
Thank you very much. Really very interesting topic because it's just narrower research within the linguistic approach, and I hope this information, while you were prepared, it was very interesting for yourself as well, and I know that your supervisor will help you in this presenting, and it's a good work. Well, colleagues and participants, do you have any questions? Yes, it's really actual to know how to use abbreviations. Yes, I agree. Well, thank you. And we continue. The next speaker is Kovalchuk Tetiana, and she presents the global challenges in keeping United Kingdom identity. Because in a globalizing world, some of the biggest challenges in keeping identity are related to protecting our right to follow particular values, beliefs, and so on. Well, Tanya, you will start, and please remember 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tetiana. In today's world, which is changing and connecting very fast, it's really important for countries to keep their own special identity. The United Kingdom actively works to preserve its unique culture and share it with the world. Today, we will look at some of the difficulties they face while doing this. Our topic is global challenges in keeping United Kingdom identity. Symbols are very important for a country's identity. In the UK, one key symbol is the Union Jack, the British flag. It brings together the flags of England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, showing that they are united. These symbols help people feel a sense of belonging and shared history, which is a big part of British identity. Institutions like the monarchy are also central to British identity. The king or queen represents a continuity and traditions. They are involved in many important ceremonies. Traditions like afternoon tea and royal events are part of the UK's unique culture and help people connect with their heritage. The UK is becoming more diversity More people from different countries are living there, which is called immigration. This creates a multicultural society with many different cultures. This diversity can bring new ideas, but it also presents questions about what it means to be British in a changing population. Society is also changing due to new technology and evolving social value. These changes can influence traditions, norms, and how people see themselves and their culture. It's important for British identity to adapt to these modern changes. To understand these challenges a bit better, research look at different things. For example, for how the media shows British identity, they might look at what kind of people are on popular TV shows. For how many people from different backgrounds live in the United Kingdom, they might look at the numbers of people born in the countries. And for what people think about being British, they might ask simple question in surveys like, what does being British mean to you? And for the monarchy, do you think the king is important? Studying these specific things helps us understand how British identity is changing. So, what are the main points about national identity in the UK today? It's a mix of old traditions and new influence. These, like the monarchy and the flag, are important symbols, but the UK is also becoming more diversity, and society is changing. Keeping a sense of national identity in the changing world is a key question for the UK. In conclusion, British identity is dynamic and evolving. It needs to adapt to globalization and the increasing diversity with this country. It's important to find a way to maintain a sense of unity and belonging for everyone in the United Kingdom in the future. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Tatiana, for the presenting work. And of course, it's very interesting to listen to about these points, about challenges, because in any case, if we are learning English and teaching English, we should know all the challenges we are having nowadays. Thank you very much. And continue. You know, my dear participants and colleagues and all the guests, we have students from other universities who are who wish to present their researches. And among them, there is Ryabchun Alexandra, National Transport University, Kyiv, Ukraine. So, and Alexandra, you may start your presentation and, of course, follow the time schedule as 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yes, before you're starting, I'd like to tell your university in your person thanks that you are participants, that your university is interested in this students forum and meeting. So thank you, and let's start.
Okay, good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alexandra Ryabchun, and I'm glad to welcome you to my presentation. Today, I would like to talk about a very important aspect of professional education, foreign language training for logistics specialists, process quality intensification. This topic reflects how language education influences the effectiveness and professionalism of logistics experts. So let's begin. Let me start by introducing the topic of my presentation. Foreign language is one of the key factors for logistics specialists. That's why the quality of training directly affects English knowledge as an indicator of professionalism. Experts believe English in logistics is not just a language, it's a part of modern corporate culture that helps develop and optimize work processes. If we look deeper, its role becomes clear both for personal and professional growth. In this presentation, I aim to describe the current language training, analyze students' satisfaction, and propose ways to improve this process. Now let me move on to the current situation. Several factors hinder the improvement of language learning. To begin with, English courses at universities are often disconnected from real professional life. As a result, they become abstract and reduce students' motivation. Another problem is the reduced number of lessons and use of ineffective methods. Teachers are rushed and students lose a link to real work skills. In addition, there is a lack of specialized English materials for logistics, which makes it hard for teachers to select relevant content. Now, let's take a closer look at student satisfaction. Many logistics students feel their English...
Alexandra, just a moment. Your slides are not scrolled.
Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Just a second. Oh. Now let's take a closer look at student satisfaction. Many logistics students feel their English level is not sufficient. According to the results of a survey conducted among 4 groups from the National University of Life and Environmental Sciences of Ukraine, most students see English is important. However, only half of them enjoy the classes. Many avoid speaking, citing lack of hours and ineffective tasks. Students also struggle with slang, grammar, and translating from Ukrainian. Besides, a 2020 study defined 5 factors that influence satisfaction: relevant content, active participation, meeting expectations, real-world relevance, and practical applications. What is interesting is that student satisfaction depends more on course quality than on teacher personality, showing the importance of proper planning. Now, I would like to present some possible solutions. Experts suggest building cooperation between language teachers and logistics professionals. This means aligning lessons with real industry needs. It is also necessary to define goals clearly and focus on practical application. Educational materials should be significantly relevant and easy to understand. At the same time, we must not forget about culture knowledge. Without it, students can't communicate effectively. So we can say that learning language and culture together is key. Let me conclude by summarizing the main points. English education in universities faces many challenges. First of all, teachers often lack training and grammar-focused methods, limited communication skills. Secondly, motivation is low and materials are outdated. To improve the situation, we should upgrade teaching methods and teacher training, update curricula to match real work, apply students' content communicative approaches, use digital tools and modern resources, and create a supportive environment. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope this presentation was useful and thought-provoking.
Thank you, Alexandra, very much. I know how much busy you are because your university has a special scientific conference now as well as we are having. So thank you very much. And I hope for continuing our cooperation with the Department of Foreign Language, who prepare specialists for transport, for translating in the sphere of transport. Thank you very much. And we continue. We have one more student from the Transport University, National Transport University. This is Nechiporenko Yuri. And he has a presentation about multi-component English terms in documents in the field of international transportation. So you know, dear participants, how useful nowadays to master, to learn English in the specific approaches. And for example, as transport one. So Yuri, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, and Yuri, we have so dark screen.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Should we help you to present your
Yes,
presentation?
please.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yulia Viktorovna, could you help? And Yuri, you may start, and while Yulia Viktorovna is helping us.
Good day, everyone. I'm glad to see so many of you here today. I hope you hear me okay.
Yes,
My
yes.
name is Yuri. I'm student of National Transport University. The subject of my report is English multi-component terms in documents of international transportation sector. Let's start with introduction. The international transportation sector operates within a framework of standardized documentation, much of which is written in English. These documents are characterized by the frequent use of multi-component terms, specialized word combination, usually 2 or 4 words, that convey precise legal or logistical meaning. Understanding these terms is essential for clear communication, accurate documentation, and legal compliance in global trade. Successful international cargo transportation depends on many factors, one of the most important being the correct execution of transportation documents. Mistakes in these documents can lead to numerous negative consequences, including delays, fines, or even confiscation of goods. In English, there are many multi-component terms that logistics professionals must know in order to work with these documents effectively. My first point is the types of document containing multi-component terms. Some key international transportation documents where such terms are commonly used. We see bill of lading, a document issued by a carrier to acknowledge receipt of cargo. Then air waybill, a contract between the shipper and the airline. CMR consignment note, used in road freight under the CMR convention. Freight forwarding contract, agreement between a client and logistics provider. Insurance certificate, proof of cargo insurance coverage, and dangerous goods declaration. It's statement confirming proper handling of hazardous cargo. If we look at the next column, we will see the following topic about the functions and importance of multi-component terms. Multi-component terms play a vital role in international transportation and logistics documentation. Their use ensures effective communication, reduces the risk of misinterpretation, and support legal and operational consistency. The first is accuracy and clarity. Multi-component terms allow professionals to express complex ideas or specific conditions in a concise and unambiguous way. It matters because it reduces confusion and helps all parties understand the exact meaning without assumption. The second is standardization across borders. In international trade, consistency of terminology is essential. Multi-component terms act as a standardized linguistic units that are recognized and accepted globally, regardless of the native language of the participants. These standardized terms ensure that documents such as commercial invoices, customs declaration, or shipping instructions are interpreted the same way by companies, customs authorities, and carriers across different countries. Why it matters? Because it promotes mutual understanding and smooth processing of documents in cross-border operation. For example, terms such as free on board or delivered duty paid are defined under Incoterms and have precise meaning accepted worldwide. The third is legal precision. In logistic contracts and official documents, legal clarity is critical. Multi-component terms are often legal constructs with specific definitions that hold weight in case of dispatches. Using vague or non-standard language in place of such terms could lead to misinterpretation or legal loopholes. It is important as it ensures that rights, responsibilities, and obligations are clearly defined and enforceable. For example, liability coverage limit refers to the maximum amount an insurance provider or carrier is legally obligated to pay in case of loss or damage. This term has a defined legal implication that affect risk allocation. Then we see a diagram. Please scroll down if you can you hear me? Sorry.
Maybe some technical moment about
Ah.
scrolling. Yeah,
Oh,
yes, I'm here.
okay, thank you. We see diagram. This diagram shows method of creating multi-component terms. They are divided into three types: 2, 3, and 4 component terms. Let's start with 2 component. The first is noun plus noun structure that forms cluster, such as distribution warehouse. It means распределительный склад. Second is adjective plus noun structure, and it form cluster saleable goods. That means товарная продукция. Third is noun plus of plus noun structure. It forms letter of credit. That means аккредитив. And the last of this of 2 component is verb plus noun. This structure forms cluster manage inventory. That means керувати запасами. Let's move on second section. It's 3 component. Let's start with noun plus noun plus noun structure. It forms clusters such as transportation management system. That means система управління перевезеннями. The next is adjective plus noun plus noun. This structure forms clusters such as total productive maintenance. That means повне продуктивне технічне обслуговування. The next is verb plus noun plus noun. This structure is forms harmonized commodity description. It's mean гармонізований опис товарів. Next is n plus verb in ing form plus noun. It forms cluster line hauling shipment. It's mean линійні перевезення. And next is verb plus verb in ing form plus noun structure. It forms a cluster such as push ordering system. What mean system push замовлень. The last in this section is noun plus adjective plus noun structure. That forms a cluster such as gross national product. That means валовий національний продукт. Okay, let's move to the last section. It's 4 component terms. The first is noun plus noun plus noun plus noun. Structure is forms a cluster such as enterprise resource planning system. Система планування ресурсів підприємств. The second is adjective plus noun plus noun plus noun. That structure that forms a cluster such as fixed quantity inventory model. That means модель запасів з фіксованою кількістю. Next is noun plus adjective plus noun plus noun. It forms classes such as logistics, foreign trade zone. It's mean логістична зовнішньоторгівельна зона. And the last is adjective plus noun plus verb plus noun structure. It forms class electronic data interchange association. That means асоціація електронного обміну даними. From the last topic, you can see a real example from transport documents. We will talk about CMR, consignment note. No, at the beginning, we have consignment note itself. Next, we will talk about point of delivery. It's the agreed location where goods are to be delivered. Next is freight charges. It's
Yuri, just a moment. If I'm moderator, may I stop you at this place because really your topic is very interesting and complicated, and we are trying to imagine how could you learn all this within the translation in the sphere of transport, because we are mostly in philological, pedagogical, so we are mostly in humanitarian approaches, and you are in the approach of transport, and we see how complicated it is for you. And we'd like to thank you about this material because really it's a great work you have done with your supervisor. And why I am stopping you, because we have some more report speakers and they are waiting, and because we have lack of time. So if you agree, can we thank you about your presentation? We have your material in our special platform, and our participants can read all this material. And thank you very much for this.
Yes, of course. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you that you were with us. And yes, Alina Petrivna, you are right. Technical translation is the ultimate robotics. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you. And now we continue. So the next participant we are having is just a moment. Alina Petrivna, would you help me? Who will be the next? Goncharuk? No?
Sure, the next would be Albina Goncharuk.
Yes,
Albina, are you with us?
Yes, hello. 1 minute to share my presentation.
Yeah, and dear Albina, please 5 minutes, because we have some students who are waiting and they want to present their works as well. 5 minutes. Maybe some places should be shorter. Thank you.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we see your presentation.
Okay, hello, dear participants of the 5th Ukrainian Student Scientific and Practical Online Forum. Today, I would like to talk about speech therapy techniques in bilingual children. Bilingualism is no longer an exception, but a growing norm in our increasingly interconnected world. As language professionals and researchers, we find ourselves at the forefront of understanding the unique linguistic journey of bilingual children, and particularly when it comes to speech and language development. Today, I want to explore the intricate landscape of speech therapy for bilingual children, examining the challenges they face and proposing innovative solutions that can support their communication skills. Understanding the complexity of bilingual language acquisition. The journey of a bilingual child is fundamentally different from that of a monolingual child. Unlike the traditional view that once saw bilingualism as a potential hindrance to language development, contemporary research reveals a much more nuanced reality. Bilingual children navigate a complex linguistic ecosystem that demands unique cognitive and communicative skills. Next, I want to talk about key challenges in speech therapy. The first one is differential language development. Bilingual children often experience asynchronous language development. What appears as a speech delay might actually be a natural process of negotiating two linguistic systems. Speech therapists must distinguish between genuine speech disorders and the normal variations in bilingual language acquisition. The second one is diagnostic complexity. Traditional speech assessment tools are frequently designed with monolingual populations in mind. This creates a significant challenge in accurately diagnosing speech disorders in bilingual children. Standardized tests may not account for the intricate code switching and linguistic transfer that are inherent in bilingual communication. And the third one is cultural and linguistic interference. Languages are not just systems of communication, but also repositories of cultural nuance. Different languages have unique phonological, grammatical, and pragmatic rules. Bilingual children must simultaneously manage these complex systems, which can sometimes lead to what might be misinterpreted as speech difficulties. Next is innovative solutions and therapeutic approaches. The first one is holistic assessment strategies. We need a paradigm shift in how we assess bilingual children's speech and language skills. This means developing culturally and linguistically sensitive diagnostic tools, involving family members who can provide context about the child's language use, considering the child's entire linguistic repertoire, not just proficiency in individual languages. Next is individualized intervention models. Each bilingual child language journey is unique. A successful speech therapy requires personalized therapy plans that respect the child's specific linguistic background, strategies that leverage the strengths of both languages, and collaborative approaches involving parents, educators, and therapists. And the third one is technological and interdisciplinary support. Modern technology and interdisciplinary research offer promising avenues, like digital platforms that provide multilingual speech therapy resources, collaborative research between linguists, speech therapists, and neurologists, and advanced diagnostic tools that can analyze cross-linguistic language patterns. Next is practical recommendations for therapists. The first one is continuous learning. We have to stay updated with the latest research on bilingual language development. Cultural components. We have to develop a deep understanding of the cultural context of the languages involved. Third one is flexible therapeutic approaches. We have to be prepared to adapt techniques to individual needs. And positive reinforcement. Have to emphasize the cognitive advantages of bilingualism. And as we have come to conclusion, bilingual children are not facing a challenge, but embarking on a remarkable linguistic journey. As speech therapy professionals, our role is not to correct, but to support, understand, and celebrate their unique communication abilities. The future of speech therapy lies in embracing diversity, leveraging technological advancements, and recognizing the extraordinary cognitive flexibility of bilingual children. We are not just treating speech, we are nurturing global communicators. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much for interesting material, because I know that speech therapist, you are a special approach in this sphere. Thank you very much for this work. And do we have any no questions? Only the words of thanks. Thank you. And now continue. Вишинська Анастасія. Oh, sorry, no. Stachenko Anastasia, collaborating with teachers, the role of speech therapist and language acquisition. So we continue our problematic about speech therapy.
Hello, dear participants. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen. And
Okay.
in your screen, yeah, that's okay. We see.
Hello, dear participants. Imagine a bridge between two powerful supports, speech therapy and language education. Today, I will explore how collaboration between speech therapists and teachers enhances language acquisition for students with communication challenges. The evolving landscape of language education. Speech therapists are no longer isolated specialties. We are the key partners in inclusive education, contributing beyond therapy sessions to supportive learning environments. Speaking about key dimensions of collaborative practice. The first one is understanding shared goals. Speech therapists and teachers aim to help students communicate confidently. Through methods differ, the mission is the same, student success. And the second one is breaking down communication barriers. Speech therapists understand language development and disorders. Teachers know pedagogy and curriculum. Together, their combined expertise benefits students. The next one is practical collaboration strategies. Speaking about integrated assessment and support, what does it mean? It is meetings on student progress, sharing insights and strategies, and holistic support plans beyond sessions. The second one is professional knowledge exchange. Speech therapists offer insights on join workshops for mutual learning. And the last one is customized learning approach. It is adaptive materials, inclusive communication environments, and flexible intervention methods. What is more? Technological and interdisciplinary support. For example, digital tools for communication, platforms for tracking progress, and software integrating interventions. Okay, move on. Speaking about challenges and opportunities, barriers include time limits, differing perspectives, and bureaucracy. Yet, these also present growth opportunities through communication, respect, and focus on outcomes. I would like to tell about practical recommendations. About clear communication channels, shared documentation tools, flexible strategies, or ongoing interdisciplinary learning. To conclusion, I want to say speech therapists are partners in education. Through collaboration, we help students overcome barriers and realize their potential. Together, we empower the communicators of the future. Thank you for your attention. That's all.
Thank you very much for your presentation. And do you have any questions for our speaker? No questions. I think we may say you thank you because indeed speech therapy is very useful and very complicated topic in the field of teaching languages. Thank you, and let's continue. Well, the next one is Вишинська Анастасія. Вишинська Анастасія, she presents the basic vocabulary of contemporary dance choreographer. You see, today we have very different participants from different fields, as our university, other universities, and of course, each participant is learning their sphere he or she is studying at. Well, you're welcome, Anastasia.
Do you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay. Hello, dear participants of the forum. Let me introduce the topic of my research, the basic vocabulary of a contemporary dance choreographer. Relevance of research. Studying and systematizing the basic vocabulary of modern dance in English is a necessary step in the professional training of choreographer. It allows students to understand basic dance terminology, independently research primary sources, participate in international master classes, residencies, educational programs, integrate into the global professional community. Many terms in contemporary dance still do not have established translations in Ukrainian, which creates difficulties in the learning process. So discussing this topic helps draw attention to this issue. To understand the motivation of choreographers to learn English, it is necessary to examine how contemporary dance was formed. Contemporary dance is a genre of dance performance that began to develop in early 20th century. It emerged as a protest against the canons of classical ballet and aimed to create new choreography based on the inner emotional state and individual worldview. Contemporary dance started to take shape in the United States and Europe. Most of the founders of modern movement techniques, such as Martha Graham, Hasse Limon, Merce Cunningham, Trisha Brown, and Steve Paxton, were English-speaking choreographers. That is why English terminology is widely used in contemporary dance. It is also worth mentioning that a significant part of the terminology in contemporary is borrowed from classical dance, so a lot of moves and poses are in French. Today, the foundation of every dance choreographer's vocabulary includes names of body parts, verbs that describe actions, and adjectives that describe the quality of movement. Contemporary dance-related vocabulary consists of a few parts. Basic positions. There are 6 basic foot positions in dance, traditionally referred to by numbers. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth positions. Additionally, dancers use 2 main orientation of the legs, turned out and parallel. Arm positions begin with the preparation. Arms are relaxed and lowered in front of the body, and the other positions are traditionally numbered as foot positions, first, second, third. There are various body poses, such as flat back. It's a forward bend with a straight back at 90 degrees. Side stretch is a tilt of the body to the side with the arm extended above the head and or along the body. Spiral, twisting of the body, and etc. Movement principles. Centering is active work of the core muscles, abs, back, pelvis. Concentration, conscious control of the body and movement. Breath control, breathing as a source of impulse. Opposition is a movement through the opposition of body parts. Flow is a continuity of movement. Swinging movements with recoil, and isolation is isolated movements of separate parts of the body, and etc. The list goes on. Movement techniques. Contraction release, developed by Martha Graham, is technique that involves contracting the abdominal and chest muscles and then releasing them. Flying low, developed by David Zambrano, is a dynamic approach to moving across the floor in space with a constant alternation of falling and rising. Fall and recovery, developed by Jose Limon, is a dynamic principle that involves intentionally allowing the body to fall off the balance and then finding stability again. And there are many more movement techniques. Also, a special place in contemporary dance takes improvisation, is a process of spontaneously created movement. And contact improvisation is improvisation that involves 2 or more dancers. So In conclusion, mastering basic English vocabulary is essential for contemporary dance choreographers. It helps to understand key movement principles and techniques. Systematizing basic terminology helps create a shared professional language for teachers and students and provides access to original sources without the distortion of translations. This knowledge is crucial for teaching, learning, and creating in a global dance context. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anastasia. Nastya, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Yeah. In what way learning English is useful for you in career your dance teacher?
As I mentioned,
Interesting question. Yes, it is useful, but for you?
For me, except of all I mentioned in my speech, I also like to watch a lot of interviews in English. I read articles because a lot of information is in English, and it's interesting to read to read this information in the first form.
The original. Nastya, thank you
Yes,
very
yes.
much, because I know you are the first year student and you only start to learn the English in a professional way within your career. Thank you very much, and thank your teacher of English. So we continue. The next is Anastasia Bondarenko. She will present her problematic work about teaching method, because now we have the representatives from different faculties, and we have the representative of the Faculty of Pedagogical Education and the specific teaching method. So Anastasia, you are welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, dear participants. I am glad to be at the forum and present my work as a young teacher. My research is titled Formation, the Junior Pupils' Motivation to Learn a Foreign Language by Means of Digital Stories, Digital Storytelling. The word storytelling derives from the Old English word story, from Latin historia, narrative, account of past events, telling, from Old English tellan, to count, recount, narrate. Storytelling is one of the oldest forms of communication, predating written English. Early humans used storytelling to pass the knowledge and survival strategies, preserve history, culture, and traditions, entertain and educate future generations. Over time, storytelling evolved from oral traditions into written, visual, and digital forms, becoming a powerful tool in literature, education, business, and media. Let's start with the context. As we know, younger students often face difficulties.
Nastya, just a moment. Your slides don't, something happened with them. Would you scroll them? Thank you.
As we know, younger students often face difficulties staying motivated in language learning. Traditional methods may feel repetitive or disconnected from their interests. Digital storytelling addresses this problem. It combines the natural love of stories with multimedia elements, making lessons more immersive and enjoyable. This approach allows children to create their own stories in English, helping them connect emotionally with the language and use it in the meaningful contexts. The goal of my study was to examine how digital storytelling can influence primary students' motivation to learn English. I wanted to answer two main questions. Does using storytelling apps increase language motivation, and what specific changes can be observed in students' classroom behavior? Digital storytelling motivates younger learners through several core methods: voice recording and role play. Pupils record their voices or act out characters, which increases speaking confidence and emotional expressions. Personalization of content. Learners create stories about their own lives, pets, or interests. This makes the activity more meaningful and emotionally engaging. Cooperative story projects. Working in pairs or groups enhances teamwork, grammar usage, and sequencing skills. Visual and multimedia support, images, animations, and video enrich the storytelling experience and help students understand and retain new words. International experience. Digital storytelling is already used successfully in many countries. Finland used Storybird and Adobe Spark Video in bilingual CLIL classrooms. These tools improve both story structure and pronunciation. In the United States, Toontastic is widely used in ESL classes. University of Minnesota study found a 25% higher vocabulary gain for students using digital storytelling compared to traditional exercises. And South Korea uses animated story apps in early English education. A study by Chang'an University found improved fluency and lower anxiety in young learners. This global experience shows that digital storytelling isn't just a trend, it's a transformative practice. In my work, I used 3 platforms: Book Creator, Toontastic, and StoryJumper. Book Creator, this is an online tool and app that allows children to create their own interactive digital books. They can type text, draw, insert images, record their voices, and even add videos. In my study, pupils used it to write simple stories about their favorite animals, daily routines, and imagined adventures. It's perfect for practicing vocabulary, sentence structure, and pronunciation because students knew their books would be shared. They were more careful and creative in their language use. Toontastic, this tool developed by Google allows students to create animated stories using 3D characters. They can select settings, move characters, and record their own dialogue. The app includes a preset story, a beginning, middle, and end, which helps pupils understand narrative structure. In my project, young learners used Toontastic to create short cartoons about superheroes, school adventures, and even space missions. It helped improve fluency, emotional expression, and confidence in speaking English. And StoryJumper. StoryJumper is a browser-based tool for cooperative storytelling. It provides templates, character images, and allows both text and voice integration. Pupils worked in pairs to build stories together, which develops their teamwork, sequencing skills, and grammar awareness. This tool was especially helpful for shy students, as they felt safer working with a partner and focusing on visual as well as text. Now let me tell you about the research I conducted. I worked with a group of 28 second grade pupils in Academy of Modern Education A+, which is located in Kyiv. Phases of the study. Initial motivation tests using a simple survey and observation scale. Implementation, 6 weeks of digital storytelling integration. Students created their own stories weekly using the mentioned tools. And post-implementation assessment using the same scale and the class participation logs. Results of the study. The results were very encouraging. The number of highly motivated young learners increased 4 times from 3 to 12. The percentage of pupils with low motivation dropped by over 50%. Children who were previously passive became more active and confident during English lessons. Pupils began using new vocabulary spontaneously in storytelling, especially adjectives and verbs that are really important in their age. This change wasn't just about fun, it also boosted linguistic development. I also gathered feedback from the children. Here are a few quotes. I like English more now because I can make cartoons. It's fun to write stories about my dog and my robot. I want to show my story to my parents. These responses suggest that storytelling gave them a personal connection to language learning. Of course, the process had its challenges. Some students needed help with technical aspects. It took time to train them in story structure, and a few students were shy to record their voices at first. However, with peer support and regular encouragement, most of these barriers were quickly overcome. To summarize, digital storytelling is an effective way to motivate young learners in English classes. It supports not only speaking and vocabulary, but also emotional engagement, creativity, and cooperation. Children move from being passive recipients to active storytellers. This approach is not just a teaching technique, it's a tool for empowering young voices. I based my research on studies from universities in South Korea, the USA, Finland, as well as academic literature on digital pedagogy. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope this talk encourages you to explore digital storytelling in your own teaching and research.
Anastasia, thank you very much for so interesting work you have presented. Any questions to Anastasia?
In the chat, Natalia Volodymyrivna, if possible.
Yes.
Or I can ask, okay, if possible. Could you share your personal experience and give advice of number one tool for digital storytelling? Because you mentioned several, like Story Jumper, and so on. So which is number one for you? Thank you.
I think the number one for me, it's Toontastic, because it's really engaging for children, because they can create like their own cartoons. They can use their own characters and can create them, and then can not just see them or read something about that. They can move them and can record their dialogue. So in the end of the project, maybe they can see the whole movie they were made by them.
Is it user-friendly? I mean, anyone can try and do some good job in that application, or you should have like special training to use it?
Yeah, I had some problems at the beginning of using this technology because some students needed help with technical aspect, but during the process, the students quickly learn how the tools work, so it became easy for them through maybe 1 week, I think.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nastya. So we can continue. Well, the next speaker is Anastasia Vshivenko. Yes, informal learning of foreign languages.
Так, вітаю.
Anastasia, you're here with us. Yeah, we see you.
Yes.
So let's start. Anastasia, remember about 5 minutes. Informal learning of foreign languages.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen and you may start.
My name is Anastasia Vshivenko, and today I'd like to share with you a really relevant and exciting topic, informal language learning through social media and influencers who make this process easier and more enjoyable. These days, learning foreign languages doesn't only happen in classrooms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, podcasts. You all become vibrant and engaging language environments. Informal learning means we study without a set program, without grades or a diploma. It could be watching memes, videos, chatting with foreigners in the comments, or listening to songs in a foreign language. So why do social networks work so well? Because they make language learning feel natural. The speech is real, emotional, and modern. We get access to spoken language, see how native speakers actually talk and write, and sometimes even get to communicate with them. Also, the content we see is personalized to our level, and everything happens in a fun, relaxed way. The first influencer I want to talk about is Makashovsky. He is a Ukrainian English teacher and TV presenter, known to many from the travel show Heads and Tails, but he became popular thanks to his educational content on TikTok and Instagram. What makes him stand out is that he shows English as something practical, not boring theory, but a tool for real communication. His content is modern, emotional, and super reliable. That's why people love it. I want to share one of his videos.
Anastasia, unfortunately, we couldn't hear the sound, probably because sharing option, but I think the students could see your presentation on our website and watch it. Thank you.
Next one is Radwansky Eng. He is also a Ukrainian English teacher and a blogger with more than 10 years of experience. His audience is very diverse, from beginners to public figures. His style is calm, professional, and clear. He explains grammar, phrases, verbs, pronunciation, and vocabulary in simple language. He often shares PDF resources, checklists, and mini courses to help organize learning. And also I have video, but I think it's no sound. So the last but not least is English with Lucy. This is a project by Lucy Bella Simpkins, a British teacher with millions of followers. She helps people from all over the world understand English better, especially the kind of English spoken in UK. Her explanations are very clear and structured. Her pronunciation is calm and proper. She is not just a blogger, she is a professional teacher with a degree and a deep knowledge. Her videos are perfect if you want to improve your pronunciation, vocabulary, and understand the British culture in a relaxed and friendly way. Also, we have a video. So, what about advantages of informal study? First of all, you can practice the language in real life situations without going abroad. Second, you get used to real pronunciation, slang, and commonly used phrases. Also, you can learn whenever you want, even from your phone. And finally, fun videos, memes, games, all of this keeps you motivated. And also we have some disadvantages. Like this type of learning often lacks a structure or a clear plan. You might accidentally learn incorrect or awakened phrases. It's hard to track your progress without tests or feedback, and not all content is professional, so it's important to be careful with your sources. In conclusion, what is the best approach? Informal learning through social media is a great addition to school or university classes. It's fun, motivating, and adapts to your interests. But it's best to combine it with formal learning like courses, lessons, or trusted platforms. That way, your progress will be faster, more accurate, and more meaningful. Also, here you can find some popular hashtags, so using them you can find special videos on any platform and study there. Thank you for your attention. If you never tried learning language through social media, I really recommend to giving it a go.
Thank you, Anastasia. And I have a question on the tip of my tongue. So, which one is the most useful in learning English, Instagram or TikTok?
I think we can use both of them because the videos are duplicated on the both of platforms. But for me, I rather use TikTok because we have, I think, more videos there and more different bloggers, and also you can just review some new words or find out some new things using these short videos.
Thank you. And we continue. So the next is Bondar Veronica, speech therapy. the role of social media in language learning motivation.
And
Ага,
Veronica as well.
we have two Veronikas, Veronika Bonder and Veronika Volska. It's a destiny. So, start.
Hello, dear participants.
My cordial greetings to everyone who is here today.
We're delighted to be here today at this student forum to talk about something that affects most of us daily, social media, and how it can boost our motivation to learn in languages.
Think about it. How many times do you check your phone each day? How many social media apps do you have? Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, maybe Twitter or Facebook. Now, what if I told you that the time you spend scrolling could actually help you become fluent in a new language?
Learning a language used to mean sitting with textbooks and doing grammar exercises. It was often boring and lonely, but today social media has changed everything about how we connect with languages.
First, let's talk about authentic content. On social media, you can find real people speaking real languages in real situations. No more boring textbook dialogues. You can watch short videos from native speakers talking about their daily lives, cooking their favorite meals, or sharing culture's traditions.
Another powerful aspect is a diversity of accent and speaking styles you can encounter online. While textbooks often stick to one standard version of a language, social media introduce you to regional dialects, slang, informal speech, and cultural nuances.
Social media helps you find content that matches your interests. Motivation increases significantly when we learn through things we are passionate about. Love cooking, watch recipes in Italian. Interested in football? Follow German club accounts. This kind of learning doesn't feel like a chore, it feels enjoyable.
For example, if you love reading and you're learning English, we recommended the blogger Emmy. She shares her book discoveries, gives great recommendations. If you're curious about celebrities, then The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is perfect for you.
Second, social media creates communities. Language learning can be lonely, but platforms like Discord, Reddit, or language exchange apps connect you with others who share your goals. You can find study buddies, practice partners, and mentors who encourage you when you feel like giving up. These communities give us a sense of belonging that keeps us motivated.
What makes the communities unique is their diversity. You can interact with people from different countries, age groups, art, and cultural backgrounds, which broadens your worldview and helps you understand how a language is used in various contexts. This real intercultural exchange can be found in traditional classrooms, and it makes language learning much more meaningful.
Also, many of these communities are moderated by experienced learners or teachers who provide useful resources, tips, and structured advice. This kind of guidance, offered informally and often for free, can help you avoid common mistakes, discover new tools, and build an effective learning routine without feeling overwhelmed.
In these online communities, you can share your progress, join language challenges, or take part in weekly tasks. This creates positive pressure and discipline that helps you stay on track. You see that other learners face the same difficulties is reassuring and motivating.
Third, social media offers immediate feedback. Post something in your target language on Twitter or Instagram, and native speakers might correct you or respond in that language. This kind of interaction is priceless.
Additionally, this instant feedback can be more personalized and direct. Instead of waiting for a teacher or tutor to review your work, you can receive corrections or suggestions in real time. This helps you make immediate improvements and adapt to the language faster.
What's more, this kind of interaction feels less intimidating compared to a classroom setting. On social media, you can make mistakes without the fear of judgment, and this allows for a more relaxed learning environment. You feel more encouraged to experiment with the language and take risks without worrying too much about making errors.
For example, in the Hi Native app, you can ask native speakers questions like, how do you say this in German? Or did I phrase the sentence correctly? And get answers in just a few minutes. This isn't just a study, it's real communication with people.
First, social media makes language learning entertaining. Language teachers on TikTok or YouTube explain grammar points in fun, short videos. They use humor, music, and creativity to make complex topics simpler to understand. When learning is fun, we stick with it longer.
Moreover, many of these teachers break down challenging topic into bite-sized chunks that are easily to digest. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by long lessons, you can learn in small, manageable pieces that fit easily into your day. This not only keeps you engaged, but also helps to build consistency in your language practice.
Additionally, the interactive nature of social media allows for immediate feedback on your understanding. If you don't quite get a grammar rule from one video, you can search for another or ask questions in the comments. This ability to learn from multiple sources and perspectives makes language learning feel more dynamic and tailored to your needs.
Fifth, social media lets you learn a language at your own pace and on your own schedule. One of the biggest advantages of online content is accessibility and flexibility. You can watch educational videos on the subway, listen to English podcasts while walking, or do exercises in an app during your lunch break.
Moreover, this flexibility allows you to integrate language learning into your everyday activities. You can learn while doing household chores, during your commute, or even while cooking. It becomes a seamless part of your routine, making it easier to stay consistent and maintain progress without dedicating hours of your day to studying.
Additionally, with social media, you can customize your learning journey. If you prefer learning those videos, you can follow content creators who focus on that format. If you enjoy reading, you can follow blogs or join reading challenges. This level of personalization means you can tailor your language learning to suit your preferences and needs, making it more engaging and effective.
Finally, social media helps us set achievable goals. Many language influencers share their learning journeys. Seeing others overcome challenges reminds us that progress takes time.
To conclude, social media has transformed language learning from a solidarity, boring activity into something social, authentic, and fun. It connects us with native speakers, provides endless resources, and keeps us motivated through community support.
However, we should remember to use social media wisely. It's easy to fall into the trap of passive scrolling instead of active learning.
As language learners in the digital age, we have incredible opportunities that previous generation could only dream of. Let's make the most of them.
We hope you feel inspired to use social media more effectively in your language learning journey. Thank you for your attention today.
Thank you very much for interesting work, and it was a teamwork, and of course we thank you. Dear participants, if you have any questions, you may ask, and I'd like you be patient because we have two speakers who are ready to present their works. So let us once more be patient and to wait some more to our speakers. And about our two Veronikas, we thank you. And if we have no any questions, we may continue. So the next is Сівковська Марина, and just a little relax from the English language, тому що Марина презентує нам методичний аспект українською мовою. Тому трошки можемо так видихнути, да? і зануритися в нашу рідну мову. Поки ви готуєтеся, я кілька слів скажу для наших зарубіжних гостей. Well, our speaker, Marina Sivkovska, has a report which devoted to the analysis of the effectiveness of the flipped classroom model in teaching a foreign language in primary school with using digital tools. So, Маріна, просимо. Теж регламент до 5 хвилин. Ну, 5, максимум 6 хвилин. Просимо.
Добрий день, шановні гості. Мене звати Сівковська Марина Олександрівна. Я студентка другого курсу спеціальності початкова освіта, і тема мого дослідження – перевернутий клас або flipped classroom у навчанні іноземної мови в початковій школі саме з використанням YouTube та подкастів. Тут ви можете поглянути на актуальність мого дослідження, яка зумовлена зростанням інтеграції цифрових технологій у початкову освіту, зокрема у викладанні іноземних мов. Адже модель перевернутого класу, за якою учні опановують новий матеріал вдома під час уроку виконують практичні завдання, відкриває нові можливості для ефективного засвоєння іноземної мови в молодому шкільному віці. Тут ви можете поглянути на методи дослідження, які були використані в цьому завданні. Почнемо із вступу. У сучасній світі зростає потреба в адаптації навчальних підходів до цифрової реальності, в якій зростають діти. І одним із таких підходів є перевернута модель навчання, яка активно впроваджується у закладах загальної середньої освіти, зокрема і в початкових школах. Особливо ефективно вона виявляється у викладанні іноземних мов, де поєднання відео, аудіо та інтерактивних форматів сприяє кращому засвоєнню нового матеріалу дітьми. Це дослідження спрямоване на аналіз переваг, викликів та можливостей використання такої моделі у навчанні іноземної мови. Суть перевернутої моделі навчання. Перевернутий клас або інверсивна модель навчання – це педагогічна модель, яка перевертає традиційний порядок уроку. В такому підході учні дивляться відеолекції або інші навчальні матеріали вдома, а вправи, відповідно, виконують в класі. Згідно авторами цього методу, а саме Ерен Самс та Джонатан Бергман, учні переглядають записи лекцій вдома, а виконання завдань, лабораторні роботи чи тести роблять саме у класі. Іншими словами, викладання нового матеріалу відбувається онлайн поза школою, наприклад, за допомогою відео, а уроки в класі використовуються для практики, роботи над проєктами та індивідуальної підтримки. І саме це дозволяє учням засвоювати матеріал у своєму темпі, опрацьовувати те, що вони не зрозуміли вдома, за допомогою вчителя в класі. Переваги такої моделі саме для вчителя я назву найважливіше – це вирішення проблеми дефіциту часу на уроці, а також використання новітніх форм організації навчання, забезпечення активізації навчальної діяльності учнів в позаурочний час. І тут вчитель виступає в ролі наставника для учнів. Переваги такої моделі для учня, ви бачите, їх дуже багато. Основні з них – це сприяння самоосвіті учня, також можливість навчатися в позаурочний час і у власному темпі, і також це розвиває відповідальне ставлення до навчання. Значення такої моделі для викладання іноземних мов в початковій школі в початковій школі. Перевернута модель навчання все частіше застосовується в початковій школі, зокрема для викладання іноземних мов, і вона особливо корисна для молодших учнів. Наприклад, дослідження серед 277 учнів початкової школи Гонконгу виявило, що перевернутий урок англійської значно підвищує мотивацію школярів і покращує взаєморозуміння з учителем. Ну і завдяки тому, що учні знайомляться з новими мовним матеріалом вдома в зручному для них темпі, вони проходять на урок більш підготовленими та зацікавленими. Молодим мовцям часто найскладніше сприймати на слух іноземну мову, як зазначає Єлена Спатіс, це вчителька іспанської мови в одній із шкіл Нью-Джерсі. Учні часто кажуть, що розуміння на слух найскладніша та найстресовіша частина уроку, адже носії мови говорять дуже швидко. Щоб розвинути навички сприйняття, учитель виводить на урок широкий спектр пісень, відео та аудіозаписів, збагачених культурними елементами. І саме це поступово покращує слухові навички і впевненість учнів. Ну і таким чином перевернута модель класу не тільки подовжує час мовної практики поза класом, але і робить уроки більш живими та продуктивними. Розглянемо технологію перевернутого уроку, я назву її в скороченому форматі. Спочатку учитель записує пояснення нового матеріалу вдома, далі розміщує навчальне відео на онлайн-платформах, учні отримують надіслані вчителем матеріали як домашні завдання, опрацьовують їх вдома, і далі на уроці вчитель організовує навчальну діяльність учнів. В чому полягає складність такого алгоритму? Тому що виникає необхідність тривалої ретельної підготовки відеоматеріалів з боку вчителя. А на це потрібно дуже багато часу. Також виникає потреба в додатковій мотивації учнів на початку роботи в цій моделі. Використання YouTube і подкастів може вирішити цю проблему, оскільки вони є ключовими інструментами у перевернутому мовному класі. Учитель може підібрати або створити короткі відеоуроки на YouTube, наприклад, пісні, мультфільми або пояснення граматики, і доручати учням перегляди їх вдома. Також немаловажлива роль належить подкастам і аудіо, хоча їх частіше використовують вже в середній і старшій школах, але доступні численні мовні подкасти саме для молодших школярів, наприклад, дитячі казки, радіопередачі про науку чи культуру іншої країни і так далі. Використання подкастів дає дітям більше тренувань і зрозуміння мови на слух у реальному житті, тому що діти звикають до природнього звучання мови, а також отримують культурну інформацію. Ну і таким чином YouTube, відео і подкасти забезпечують учнів додатковим багатовимірним мовним вихідним матеріалом вдома, а час уроку використовується для інтерактивних вправ та розвитку комунікативних навичок. Ось ви можете побачити практичний приклад такого уроку. Спочатку діти дивляться відео, можете, до речі, просканувати QR-код, там реальне відео, передивитися його. Далі на уроці вони виконують вправи, наприклад, як обговорення контенту, далі рольова гра про денну рутину, також невеличка гра і писемне завдання, яке вони виконують на уроці. Переваги використання YouTube і подкастів полягають в активному навчанні та залученні дітей. Також це ефективне використання часу уроку, більше мовної практики та культурного контексту для учнів, покращення результатів і впевненість учнів. Також є індивідуальний темп. Виклики використання YouTube і подкастів в цій моделі можуть полягати у виборі відповідного контенту, також рівня самодисципліни учнів, часу і зусилля вчителя, організації уроку та управління класом і доступ до мережі інтернет. Ми радимо проводити модель Flipped Classroom на уроках іноземної мови в початковій школі 1-2 рази на тиждень, тому що на уроці приділяється більше часу практиці, обговоренню та індивідуальній підтримці вчителя. Підхід сприяє розвитку самостійності, мотивації та комунікативних навичок учнів. І така модель класу особливо ефективна для вивчення граматики та формування іншомовної компетентності у 3-4 класах, що дозволяє адаптувати навчання під індивідуальні потреби учнів і підвищує якість засвоєння матеріалу. Висновки. Модель перевернутого класу є перспективною для викладання іноземної мови у початковій школі, оскільки вона поєднує мультимедійне навчання поза аудиторією та активну роботу в класі. Використання YouTube та освітніх подкастів дає учням цінний досвід слухання та аудіювання на рідній мові поза школою, а час уроку вчитель вже витрачає на інтерактивні вправи, виправлення помилок і розвиток розмовних навичок. Але водночас варто враховувати виклики, наприклад, забезпечення технічного доступу вчителя і дітей, зусилля вчителя з підготовки контенту та підтримку самодисципліни учнів. На цьому все. Дякую за увагу.
Дякую вам за презентацію. Матеріал цікавий і взагалі застосування цієї технології перевернутого класу, воно є ефективним, це вже доведено. І сьогодні ви знову ж таки презентували нам цей матеріал, вкотре показуючи тим, хто ще не обізнаний, що це працює, ті, хто вже обізнані, вкотре ми собі підтверджуємо, що так, все це дієво. Тому я вам щиро дякую. Якщо немає запитань, ми можемо наступну нашу учасницю запросити, Анастасія Кішка. Анастасія, you are the last participant and you are finishing and you are closing our forum in English language, and you have very interesting and very useful material about English as a volunteering voice for Ukraine, building bridges with English. Well, we see your screen, and you may start.
Good afternoon, dear participant. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, my name is Anastasia Kishka. I'm student of the Faculty of Pedagogical Education, specializing in primary education. And the topic of my report is English as a volunteer voice for Ukraine, building bridges with English. In today's world, English is more than just a school subject. It is a tool that helps people share their stories, connect across borders, and gives a chance to tell about truth. Whether it's raising awareness about global challenges or helping their country in time of crisis, knowing English allows us to speak to the world, not just our hometown. A global language for action. English plays a key role in modern activism. It helps people communicate with international partners, share local problems with a global audience. Also, we can find common ground with others who care about the same issues, from protecting the planet to standing up for human rights. English helps ideas to spread and actions to grow. In contemporary political landscapes, English plays a critical role in activism. Social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram predominantly operate in English, making it easier for activists to reach a global audience. Hashtags that go viral often do so in English, amplifying local movements and turning them into international phenomena. And speaking about activism, we cannot ignore the importance of volunteering in today's world. The word volunteer comes from the Latin word voluntaris, meaning willing or of one's own choice. This Latin verb originated from the Latin noun voluntas, meaning will or desire. In English, the main meaning of being a volunteer, it is a person who does something willingly and without being forced or paid to do it. A volunteer is someone who offers their time, skills, or resources without expecting anything in return. Volunteer is the act of doing something for others, or for the community by choice, often with the goal of helping, improving, or supporting. In European countries, volunteering is seen as a way to build a strong civil society. It's about social responsibility, community building, and showing solidarity. In Europe, volunteering is usually associated with community service, environmental protection, social inclusion, and cultural exchange. But in Ukraine, especially in recent years, volunteering has taken off on powerful and emotional meaning. Ukrainian volunteers support the army, help refugees, help provide medical aid, and organize humanitarian support. They show to bravery, generosity, and patriotism. It's not just about helping, it's about protecting the country, saving lives, and supporting those in need during the war. Ukrainian volunteers are often seen as heroes. They collect aid, deliver supplies to the front lines, care about wounded soldiers, and help displaced families. Despite this difference, the core idea remains the same. Volunteers give their time and effort to help others. And for that, we are truly grateful. We are deeply grateful to all the volunteers in our country, in our university, and around the world who dedicate their time and hearts to helping others. And if we are speaking about Ukraine now, so since the beginning of the full-scale invasion in Ukraine in 2022, English has played a critical role in informing the world about the war. English has helped Ukrainians and volunteers, journalists, and citizens have used English to explain what's happening, connect with foreign allies, and ask for help and understanding. This is usually done through articles and speeches, through social media or international interviews. Thanks to English, messages about and from Ukraine have reached people and governments across the world. English matters, but why Ukrainian comes first? Learning English is important. It opens doors, builds bridges, but it also important to remember that English is strongest when it supports, but not replaces our own language. For Ukrainians, the Ukrainian language is more than communication. It is identity, memory, and strength. Especially in times of war, defending, using, promoting the Ukrainian language is a key part of protecting the nation itself. So when we speak English to the world, we do it as Ukrainians. We use it to tell our stories and to not forget who we are. And not forget about sensitive topics. War is not only about facts and headlines, it is about people. Talk about these tragedies, especially with international audiences, requires care, empathy, and understanding. This is where language becomes more than communication, becomes a tool of respect and bravery. For many Ukrainians, the Ukrainian language offers emotional safety when discussing topics like the death of loved ones, injuries and trauma, the destruction of homes and memories. Speaking about these painful experiences in the native language can humble nature, respectful and grounded in dignity. It protects people from being forced to translate their grief into languages may not fully carry their emotions. When we learn English, we gain powerful tool to volunteer, to speak out, and to make changes. And when we use English while honoring our own language, we don't lose ourselves. We become stronger and more heard than ever. For Ukrainians today, English is more than a school subject. This is a strategic tool for defending truth, building international partnership, and being heard of. At the same time, the Ukrainian language went central as a language of memory, identity, and emotional strength. By learning English, Ukrainians gain access to global conversations, but by honoring Ukrainian, we stay rooted in who we are. Together, these languages create a powerful voice, local in heart, global in reach. In Ukraine, English builds bridges. Ukrainian holds the soul. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Anastasia, for such a strong voice which we have heard from you. We are concluding our forum, but we have one more question for you. Anastasia, are you involved in volunteering and do you use English for this?
Thank you for the question. Yes, I'm a volunteer. I helped at reception points and worked as information assistance for people who had relocated. And I used English in conversations to communicate with volunteers from other countries and during online meetings with other volunteers.
Thank you very much, and thank you. So, dear participants, with great pleasure, as we start and as we are finishing, our forum is over. Thank you very much for your participation. Дорогі учасники, закриваємо наш форум і всім дякуємо за участь. Dear foreign guests, we are very pleased that you were with us. Thank you very much. And I hope next year we'll meet again, while all our hearts with you. Thank you and goodbye. See you next year.
See ya.
So we may stop the record.